Good morning. Excuse me. It's the 7th of December, 2020. Starting the second week of December now. So after a bit of a okayish week, should have done better last week. Let's hope we can improve this week and really make some more gains. We've seen some nice breakouts last week. Let's see if we have some further momentum or we consolidate. Let's start with the pounds. As you can see, we're selling off already this morning, following these Brexit talks that seem to stall to a deadlock over the weekend, as neither party could agree on access to British fishing waters. So the pound's already started selling off, down down quite a bit. 37 now, yeah. So we're down about 90 points from the highs. Might have crept up a little bit higher. We found some resistance from this kind of trend line that's been intact. It's not the most obvious one, but that's where we started selling off from. And Friday, we put in this big wick and a kind of pin bar. So it looks like we're set to test this trend line first. As you can see, this is not one of my better looking charts. It's a bit scrappy, but all these kind of lines have a reason, and they've all acted as support and resistance before, so it's worth keeping them on. But this trend line seems to be the first line of support, followed by this trend line, which is the decade-long downtrend line. On the weekly or monthly chart, you'll be able to see it. So this is going to be like a big area. So I would expect the true support to be 133. As you can see, has been acted as a support and resistance many times in the past. But with these pound pairs, because of these Brexit talks, I expect there's going to be more and more comments come throughout the week. So trading with caution is advised with the pound pairs. Perhaps reduce your risk by 50% or something like that. Maybe just be a bit careful. Unfortunately, we're late to the party. Pound started 7 selling off. If you look at the hour, we had quite a nice signal here. So we would have made 1 hour already had we arrived at 7 o'clock in the morning. Or have we started trading at 7 o'clock in the morning? I am starting to keep a record of the first hour of trading, because it seems that we do get some nice breakouts. So if it looks like we're missing a lot of R's, then perhaps I need to start trading a little bit earlier, or finishing a little bit earlier as well. Or let's see what we could do. So I'll let you know about the records that happened at 7 o'clock this week. Right, that's the pound. Let's go to euro. Let's do the other pound pair, which is GY or GJ, pound against the yen. As you can see, we put in like this big 4 big wicks last week as we approached 140.31. So this is a big area. It was the high of November, I think. Yeah, it was a high for November, and it's also put this double top on the 1st of December. But we couldn't close above this area last week, and after this many times, after this many tests, we expect the market, the bulls to give up and the bears to try and push lower. And you can see the structure of this market is been inside this this triangle, ascending triangle, for the last couple of days, and we're running out of room now. So a close below this today, and and I would expect a test of this previous resistance and support area of 137.85, or we could see a break below, a close below, and a break back inside this range, which would mean that these highs could get tested, and a push up to 142.71 might be on the cards. It depends, all depends on these Brexit talks, whether they manage to thrash out and come to some kind of and finalize some kind of agreement, and let's move on with it. I did want to. I've been mentioning this, but just again, it really does look like this pound is starting to bottom out of this multi-decade sell off, this really big downtrend, and 135 is a big level in cable. So keep an eye on that. If we close above, then I think we can start to gain some of these losses over the last 10 years back. Right, euro. Similar to the pound, you can see this this big trend line that's been broken this year, and also we tested this trend line as support as well, and since then we've been on a tear in the euro on the monthly. If we go to the daily, I did have a couple of these levels marked up, 122.15 as the next point, as that I thought was going to be resistance, but in fact we found it a little bit earlier. If I go back to the week, sorry. Yeah, I was expecting this kind of support area to be where the euro stalls and waits for the moving averages to catch up with it. But in fact, we stopped a little bit earlier, around 120, 150 level, which seems to be, looking back at the monthly, it does seem to be an important level, historic level. So keep an eye on that. Last week we tested it on Thursday and Friday, both put in some pretty big wicks, nice double top. So expect this to be 121.50 to be where the bears kind of step in and see if they can have a retracement back to this 120 breakout area. If we don't, if this bar, today's bar and tomorrow's bar is pretty small, then I expect these highs to be tested again, and if we get a close above it, we could see a push up to a continuation of this trend higher. Although, because we are pretty extended in this move, I do think that we're going to see some kind of consolidation, maybe some sideways movement in this kind of range between 121 and the highs, or maybe a small retracement back towards the moving averages, so they're able to catch up. But saying that, this year has technically been really nice. You can see this first leg. This is consolidation, and now it looks like we're breaking out, and looking like we're breaking out for a second leg higher. So yeah, good stuff in the euro. The dollar against the yen, still stuck in this trend channel, which the range is getting lower and smaller. We're also stuck in this kind of sideways consolidation between 104.75 and 103.65. Now you can see the kind of structure of this market is really forming nicely at the moment. We're kind of like in a consolidation phase, and if we compare this to the euro, where we've already it broke out of this trend channel and now is kind of like in a trending phase. UY is yet to do that, or UJ is yet to do that. We're still stuck between these two ranging levels. So I think if we can If we can break out of this range, then this might lead to a close above big round number 105, which then may mean that we push up to this kind of high of 108. Or if we close below 103, then I think 101 is on the card, which was the low of this year back here. So yeah, UJ is still stuck in this range, and the structure is kind of set up for a nice breakout either way. So it might take until next year to do though. We talked about GJ, EJ, similar to 120 in the euro. This 125 was a big level. We had this huge bullish candle after this pin bar, so an outside bar as well. Was it? No. But even so, it's like a big bullish move. So the bulls are in control at the moment. We found resistance here at 126.70, which was a kind of triple top around here. So you're talking about this area has become the resistance area. Since then, we've traded sideways for a couple of days now. So resistance would be 126.70, and support will be this breakout area, big round number 125. If we get a retracement, expect this to act as the first line of support before another push higher. But similar to EY, I should really get some moving averages on here so you can see. But I imagine we're a little bit extended from that. There's some room to retrace. So keep your eye on EY. There's also this trend line which kind of delete that now. Let's just look at the monthly. Yeah, a close above 120, 127, 127.50 even, which was this high back in 2019. A close above 128, and there really is a lot of fresh air up to 133. So interesting levels on EY. AU, we did break out of the 74 level in AU. The breakout wasn't as big as EU after we touched this big round number 70 level. We've really pushed higher on AU, and then we had a good grind up to that level. We broke out last week, but unlike EU, we didn't get this big breakout bar. It was more subtle. So that might tell you that the bulls aren't as strong as they are in against the euro dollar. The dollar bears. But we did put in this inside bar. As you can see, we traded inside this range of inside Thursday's range on Friday. Usually that means that's consolidation and no real fight back from the bears. We didn't close below the 74 level, so I expect the trend to continue up to 75, and perhaps this is where the bears are waiting. So yeah, because of this breakout, we can expect a lot of things, but this inside bar might be big on the daily, especially on a breakout at this big level. So close eye on Aussie dollar. Also keep an eye on this trend channel here. CAD, another pair which broke out last week. This 129.50 I've been talking about. If you have a look on the monthly. see it's acted as support many times, and there was also these kind of spikes higher back in 2008, 2009, and also this double top has been put in. So with the size of these wicks, you expect a big move down, and I do think that we're going to be hitting 120, 61 on UC. So this level was broken last week. We had some good push down, some good follow through after we closed below this support area. Here's was the close, and the market's just sold off. We've seen this. We closed last week right near the lows, which is a good sign for the bears. No real fight back from the bulls yet, but if we do, expect 129 to 129.50 to be where the bears will step in again. This will also mean that this trend line might become important again after this false breakout here and this rejection of this wick. It did seem that we were likely to get a break at this level, which we did last week. So yeah, see what happens this week, whether we just get some sideways movement, but also look out for inside bars, things like that. That might give you a clue whether we continue this trend this week. If this bar is super small, something like that, then I think we'll get some more of a follow through this week, and then a retracement, so the moving averages can catch up. EA was a bit choppy last week after we got the breakout. Nothing I really see in this pair just yet. Have to see what happens if we close above these highs, then we could push up to this 165 level, which has been pretty important in the past. As you can see, there's solid resistance here before we broke. Although we were unable to push higher after this big outside bar, it looked like if we closed below there, we would sell off. But we're still in this big consolidation range in EA, and a little bit like UI until we get a close above or below. Then I'm pretty neutral. Gold was really really good. Yes, last week since we touched this previous resistance level back in May. We've been on a tear up. And we've managed to claw back some of this sell off in November in gold. This trend channel seems to be doing this job on the support side. We're yet to test this trend line again, which was I also had this one put in. And this was like this big false break of this trend line here, which also acted as resistance once more before selling off. So we can extend this trend line back a little bit. Yeah, so where now for gold? We kind of the bulls kind of tapered off. As you can see, this is a big move. This is a smaller move. And this is another smaller rally. And then we put in this doji on Friday, which is a clear sign of indecision. And if you look at the hourly chart, then you can see what happened on non-farm payrolls. We were stuck inside this tight range that was overnight. NFP came, and we spiked higher, we spiked lower, we spiked higher again. And then we had a little bit of follow through, but we ended up closing back inside this kind of range. So, maybe this is going to be a little bit quiet until the US traders come in around about 1 o'clock. Right, I'm running out of time. We have to do the FTSE again. Anyway, good luck.